I've encountered quite a few people who are, you know, just destroyed from coming all the way down. And I totally recommend that you wear shoes and shoes that are not slippery. So yeah, something to consider, and lots of water, because it can get really hot. Actually, most of the people that I saw are struggling with the heat. So yeah.
Nusa Penida is home to dreamlike beaches that feel unreal and picture-perfect spots that can only be reached after some sort of hiking experience. It's a beautiful remote island, only 25 kilometers off the coast of Bali, a 40-minute boat ride, close enough that you can visit on a day trip. I came here 5 years ago only for a day, and I swore I'd come back. Today, I'm taking you through Nusa Penida's must-see spots with prices, names, and a few tips to make sure you visit the bestest Indonesian island has to offer. Alright, let's do this! We started off our day pretty early and reached the Sanur port in Bali at 7 in the morning, so of course coffee was in order. Sanur is a beach town in the east coast of Bali, and the first boat to Nusa Penida leaves at 7:30 a.m. If you're only going to Nusa Penida for 24 hours, you definitely want to catch the first boat. We recommend you go for 48 to make sure you can sink in all its beauty, but a day trip to see some of these spots is definitely doable. When we arrived at the port, we had our guide Putu waiting for us, and I'll leave his contact at the description because he was truly amazing. And we began our journey to the east of the island. First stop, Diamond Beach. The entrance fee to Diamond Beach is of 50 cents per person, and that gives you access to both Diamond and Atu Beach. Going as early as possible is recommended. The crowds can get a little bit crazy at the top, although the beach is pretty much deserted. If you're a hiker, going down to the beach won't be a problem for you. But if you're not a big fan of outdoorsy activities, you might want to skip going all the way down. Whatever you choose to do though is honestly not important because you'll still get a great view. Now on to our next stop, Treehouse. You probably recognize this spot from endless Instagram photos. It's so beautiful, but you do have to pay a fee for each spot where you want to take a photo in the premises, and prices range from $3 to $5 per spot per person. You get a number which they call for you to take the photo, and that's touristy, I know, but the photo looks like a postcard. And by hiking up a little bit more, you get amazing views like this one.
So here are a few things that I think I personally have found useful before coming here. First of all, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it's so worth it. So if you're thinking of coming, do it. It's definitely worth the trip. So one of the things I wish I had known is that most of these beautiful spots that you see on Instagram and YouTube and everywhere, in order to get there, you gotta hike a little bit. So some places, you know, you just drive up and you can see the beautiful sights from the top and it's okay. But mostly, there's a little hiking involved. You need to come prepared with, you know, shoes that are not slippery. I've seen a lot of people with flip-flops and even Crocs, and it makes me anxious to think that they could slip. Another thing is that most things here are paid with cash, so you do get the occasional spot where you can pay with a card, but it's mostly cash. So come prepared with cash. Try to exchange in Bali. You'll probably find better exchange rates there. And when you're budgeting, and this is tip number 3, consider that there are a lot of kind of like hidden small fees here and there for when you do these trips. You also had to pay, for just driving into a place, to go into the actual spot, you have to pay a little bit more. So there's a lot of that.
We decided to stay for 48 hours, so on to day 2, we are taking the west route now, and it's an hour and a half until we get to our first spot, Broken Beach and Angels Billabong. Broken Beach is a horseshoe-shaped circular cove formed in the rocks, complete with a leftover arch and perfectly blue water. It's easy to visit with only a short walk required, and you can sometimes spot manta rays swimming around, which is pretty cool. There's always people there, so you want to get there as early as possible to avoid the crowds. A few meters up from our main attraction that we were going to see, we stumbled upon Kaluang Cliff, so check it out. But here's the main event, Kelinking Beach. Kelinking literally means little finger, and it comes from its shape jutting out onto the Indian Ocean, and you don't need to hike down because you still get an amazing view from the top. We went there for sunset. I recommend you go in the morning because you get better lighting, but it was still a gorgeous sunset. The entrance fee is of 50 cents, and you also get to see these little guys running around, so hold on to your belongings.
So this is quite the hike. So let me just tell you, if you're not used to hiking, doing these like trek kind of stuff, just don't really do it. You can come like up to this point where I'm at right now, and you can still see a beautiful sight from here. But I've encountered quite a few people who are, you know, just destroyed from coming all the way down. Our stay in Nusa Penida has come to an end, but I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you found useful tips for your next trip here. I'll see you next time.